Welcome to today's Grow It Green. We're at Edgewater Farm in Plainfield. I'm joined by Emma Erler from the UNH Cooperative Extension. Emma, it's the time of year when people are thinking pumpkins, whether it's small like this one or large like some of these other ones.
Yes, Ray, there's an incredible diversity of different squashes and pumpkins out there, and all of these can be used for decoration. Something that's kind of interesting is that every pumpkin is a squash, but not every squash is a pumpkin.
Okay, certain characteristics there. All right, now this is the one that probably most people are familiar with, carving the jack-o'-lanterns and what have you.
Of course. So yeah, our jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, I mean, that's pretty standard. But really the only good thing that this can be used for is either carving or just for decoration. Whereas some of these other different squashes and pumpkins we have here are also edible and can be eaten.
Okay, and you can turn them into soups and stuff like that.
Of course.
I'm kind of baffled by some of these gourds here. Is it a gourd? Is it right to call these things gourds?
Gourds or squash? Actually, it would be more accurate to call these squash.
Okay, all right. There's one over there that looks like it's got pumpkin or peanut shells for the outer covering there.
Right, you can see that there's an incredible diversity of different skin types, and that particular squash that you're looking at right there is the same species as the large, giant, competitive pumpkins that people grow.
Okay, like we had at the Deerfield Fair recently where they set the record.
Exactly, exactly.
Right. One of the things that anybody who's grown squash knows, perhaps from zucchini, is they can take up a lot of room. So when I'm thinking about planting these in my garden, what are the things I need to consider?
So you named it. I mean, space is one of the most important things to pay attention to. Most of these plants have long trailing vines, and they're winter squash. You're not going to harvest them till the very end of the season, so that space is going to be taken up for months. So that's something to keep in mind. There are more compact varieties you can select, so that might be something to consider.
Also, I guess consider as in terms of what you're going to use it for, right?
Of course. So, as we've said, a lot of these can just be used for decoration, but they can also be sometimes eaten, and a lot of these are actually quite delicious.
Okay, or soup.
Or soup, yes.
All right. Well, if I want to find out some more information about maybe the various varieties, what I need to grow them, is there a number I should call?
Yes, call 1-877-EXT-GROW.
And then hopefully you get a little pumpkin for your garden as well. That's it for today's Grow It Green.